In my 20s, I worked in the collision repair industry. I worked on the East Coast, and then I worked out west in Utah. And at 30 years old, I started working for Lakeshore Technical College as an auto body teacher. And that's where I am today. And where this all ties in with Baileigh is we wanted to really improve our auto collision program. And I went to a Baileigh Metal Shaping event in 2015 that changed my life. I had made some things, but not like the things that I saw in this event. They had this power hammer that could make literally anything. I had always wondered how English wheels worked, and I got to see it in action. And so I knew, after seeing these machines in action, that I needed to have these things at my school, to be able to teach students how to shrink and stretch metal, how to make literally anything. They're only limited by their imagination. So I'm so excited for the opportunity to show you a few of the things that we do here at Lakeshore Technical College. So this is the auto body shop here at Lakeshore Technical College, and we do many things in this room: fender repairs, plastic repair. We work on live customer cars, so it's a big space and we use it however we need to use it at different times of the year. This is our larger frame machine, so when we have to straighten frames on pickup trucks or big SUVs, this is the tool that we use for that. So I'm actually really proud of these. These are refinishing simulators. So when the students learn how to prep and paint, this is what we use. And we have 9 of them all together. We've got the one Corvette, we've got some S10 Chevrolets, some other car bodies. But after they paint these 3 or 4 times, they're actually pretty good at refinishing. This is a prep area. So when we are getting things ready for paint with many students, we have racks that we'll put parts on, and we get things ready, and then we try to all go into the paint booth at the same time when it's feasible to spray stuff. This is our paint mixing kitchen. So we actually have 2 different paint systems. One we use for school cars and the other one we use for customer work. And then we use these Sodajet paint guns that are made in Germany, and the students learn how to take these all apart and maintain them. He has been my inspiration in so many ways. My dad was a Marine. He was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. And when he was in the Marines in the 60s and 70s, he was a welding instructor. He learned how to fabricate and how to weld in the Marine Corps, and he taught those skills to other people. And I was so fortunate growing up with my dad that I learned how to do all these things. My dad was totally into hammers. We had all kinds of different hammers that he made for different purposes. So when I saw the MH19 for the first time, which was a power hammer, it made total sense to me. It was like coming home. I recognized it right away for what it was. Now I may be a little biased, but this is my favorite room in our whole facility. And this is what I call our multi-purpose room. It's for specialized operations. I teach the sheet metal fabrication class in here. We teach aluminum welding. We teach vehicle measuring. But it's part of the shop that's apart from everything else. It's separated, and to me, that's one of the things that makes it special. So here we have some different measuring equipment and anchoring equipment. So when vehicles are damaged, we have to anchor them down and measure them and straighten them out if need be. This car is a 1969 Dodge Super Bee. So it's a car that doesn't have any rust on it. It's definitely a great car, and the students will get to do some work on this. This is a customer job. So I love the Baileigh MH19, one of the best tools in the shop. And if you think about it, what other tool do you have in your shop that can make anything? This is one of the hoods for the Speedster. I want to bring this up a little bit in this area. It's kind of like a little bit of a low spot, so I'm going to hammer this out with the 36. It's the most important work of my life. I am a professional educator. That's my identity. That is what drives me. That's why I get up out of bed in the morning, and it's what I think about when I don't have to think about anything at all. The English wheel, I warmed up to the English wheel pretty quick. You know, some people have trouble, and to me it just really came natural. Once I learned not to try to have it too tight and just to be patient. The English wheel makes some beautiful parts, and it's a great tool for people that, you know, maybe don't want a power hammer. I try to show the benefits of both tools. I think that they have a harmonious relationship in my mind, that they work together. This was an airplane fairing project for an experimental aircraft. A guy had he was building a P-36 Hawk, and they were going to make the wing root fairings out of fiberglass. I said, why don't you let me just make you some fairings? I won't even charge you anything. I'll make them out of aluminum. It took me about a day to make, I think there was 8 pieces total. But I was real happy with it, and I actually got to see the plane this past year at Air Venture. They had it all painted up. And this is actually one of the practice parts when I was working on it. It had a different radius in the front than in the back, but with the English wheel, it was actually, I'm not going to say easy, but it made the project doable. The bead roller, students love the bead roller. It's fun to use, you know, making flames or whatever. We have some patterns that they follow, and they learn how to start and stop. And it's a great tool. It's a great tool for details. Honestly, the bead roller is one of the more popular tools for the students. I think the power hammer, it has, there's a little bit of trepidation going to the power hammer. It's loud, it makes a lot of noise, it can be a little bit scary. But once I get them making a few parts, they usually warm up to it. Yeah. But the bead roller it's a friendly machine. Yeah, they usually go to that right away, and they enjoy. It's a very quick result. You know, they get something that looks cool. Yeah. Shrinker stretchers. This is another tool that students really like. I think because you get a really quick result with these, and they see right away what it does, and it's kind of fun to see at the beginning where they're trying to shrink and they're actually stretching, or vice versa. But in their mind, you know, they learn what that'll do. And this, actually, the car over here, all this work was done with the shrinker stretcher by students. It's phenomenal what they can accomplish in a relatively short amount of time. Without the Baileigh influence in social media, I don't think people would know about metal shaping. Even with everything that's out there, the knowledge that's out there, when people come into the shop here and they see the equipment, they'll usually make some comment of, oh, I've seen that. What is that, a French wheel? Or what is this machine? What does this machine do? So they're a little bit familiar with it, but they don't really know what it does. And one of my favorite things to do is to show them, well, if you want to see how this thing works, let me show you what it can do. What Shane Henderson has done with the social media is amazing. We can all see what each other are working on. I look at it as a family. We're sharing our knowledge. There's so many ideas that I've got from others. There's some things that we've come up with here that I think are pretty cool. It's neat to be able to share those to others. So I think that's a big part of why the social media is so important. These parts I'm actually pretty proud of, because these are actually real student projects. Like one of my students literally made this hood scoop from a flat piece of material, just like this. The result that they achieve is phenomenal, and we took a little time on this to actually polish it. This is a 30-minute project with the MH19. It starts out as a flat sheet of material, put in some shrink, put in some stretch, we fold it, we turn the edge on it, and the front of it we run in the bead roller. And the students can achieve a very quick result and see what all the tools do. Baileigh Stomp Shear. This is a great tool. I don't know what we would do without it. Magnetic brake. First time I seen one of these, I thought, you know what, we have to have one of those. We can do, it's so versatile, it doesn't take up a lot of space, and we use it for many of our student projects. We have the sweeps. We use these in metal shaping, and we also use them in auto body repair. I'll send the students in, I'll say, hey, find the sweep to the panel. Let's see what it is. And if there's a dent, we'll be able to tell when the dent is completely removed. So it's a great measuring tool. We've got the Baileigh, one of the tubing benders that we use this for bending tubing. And Chris Roosh had donated this to the college. They were building some mini choppers up in the weld shop. And they had this in storage. They're like, we don't have room for it on the floor. Do you want it? I was like, yep, sign me up. So we brought it down here, anchored it to the floor, and now the welding department, they come down here if they want to use it. But it's a permanent fixture of my shop. Yeah, this is a Baileigh notcher, a foot-powered Baileigh notcher. We'll give this thing dragon teeth. There you go. Well, and here's the other one, and what's really nice about this, make dragon's teeth on this side too. What's really nice about this is when you have 10 or 15 students in the class, that I'll have them use both. I'll have them use this notcher, I'll have them use that notcher, and they can experience, both pieces of equipment. But no, this has been a great machine for the students to learn on. This is about 1953 German Trumpf. T-R-U-M-P-F. So I call this a German Pullmax, because it's essentially a Pullmax but made in Germany. It's a very large machine, a very industrial machine. And on this side, it tells about the different functions that it was designed to do. It says right here, beading, folding, flanging, louver cutting. There's some characteristics of this machine I really like. The stroke is adjustable from 1 millimeter to 10 millimeter. And on a 1 millimeter stroke, it's just so small that it's just almost barely, it's just barely vibrating. But for putting details into parts, that's what you want. Well, the Speedster was an idea that I got actually from a picture. I wanted something that was obtainable that the students could make, because most students, when they think about sheet metal fabrication or metal shaping, they always go in their mind to, I want to build a whole car, right? It's so cool. So I thought, well, what could we build that would be feasible, actually that we could do it? And my idea with this project was actually to break this up into different panels, and as a whole class, if everybody made a panel or two, that we could come up with a Speedster body. It is still in the preliminary phases of development. There's still some things that we're figuring out, but it has been a worthwhile project. We use it like a capstone project. So in the sheet metal class, when all the student tasks are done, when the projects are all made, and the time that we have left over, we work on the Speedster. It's a skill builder, essentially. I've got 4 kids and a wife, and my family is my life. Okay, I love my work, but the reason why I work so hard is for my family. All these skills that I have, like I hope that they will take some of that, just like I did from my dad. I have a piece of my dad, lives in me, and I hope that the same thing holds true, with my kids, that they see, what I'm passionate about, and I think that will be a small part of their life, maybe a big part. We'll see.